What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Knab and Ro Show. I'm here with my compatriot and partner in crime, Ro. Say hi, Ro.
Hi, kids.
And welcome back to this week's podcast.
Yay! I feel like the week go by quick. I
Did.
I don't know. I don't know if because I'm still furloughed that this is kind of like my excitement for the week. That and, making my grocery trip on Fridays. Wednesdays and Fridays are my the peak of my week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to think we're mainly at home, so any chance we get to go out and have some type of adventure. And think about it, the way everything is, going out into public is basically risking your life, so it's like a little scary adventure every time you go somewhere.
It's true, and I will say, because usually we're kind of starting to recap our week. I actually met a friend for breakfast on Saturday. We went to a restaurant that we normally meet at, and I was actually didn't really know what to expect. I mean, the mask mandate is still there, but when you get to a table, you can take your mask off because clearly you can't drink or eat food with a mask on.
Yeah, you just start shoving it in.
It's just weird, but it actually wasn't as bad. I mean, people are definitely staying home, so it definitely wasn't as crowded. I mean, we've been there numerous times for breakfast, and it's usually packed, and it definitely wasn't. And they had distancing between the tables for parties and everything, and they didn't have any condiments or like sugar packets or salt and pepper, anything. I mean, the table was blank.
Yep. And
then they ask if you want ketchup or Tabasco or this, that, and the other thing, and then they'll bring it to you and whatnot. But it was nice. It was great to get out. It was awesome to have some sort of familiar normalcy. It's a place that, like I said, we've gone to numerous times, and I hadn't seen her since, April. So it's been, we've talked on the phone, but I haven't, physically seen her in a while. And so it was really nice to see her and be in a familiar place, doing a familiar thing. And it really wasn't all that bad. Would I do it every day? Probably not. But it's nice to go out, once a week or so.
I mean, you think about how it used to be, though. You go to a restaurant, let's say, if you go to a barbecue place, and you have that one shareable bottle of sweet barbecue or whatever sauce.
Yeah,
There's so many people that have touched it. It's never clean. It stays on the table. There's, goop all over the place. It's sticky,
Yeah.
I kind of like the fact that they bring something out to you that's nice. For example, I remember going to get sushi or just get Chinese food where you get those soy sauce packet or bottles, right? And the bottle is just sticky and nasty and tacky, and you just feel gross,
Yeah.
So I will say, if there's anything that we learned from this, we have become cleaner people.
I hope so.
I appreciate. You can ask Stephanie. I am a psycho about it. I hate when there's clutter in the house. Pick things up, or I will go off on you and the kids. I just can't. I just can't do it. I can't deal with it. So I think it's okay. The mask stuff is just getting to me. Just going outside and wearing a mask all the time. But we're doing it. Still doing it.
Yeah. But at least you're still able to do some things at this point. They haven't closed things down. So I will, compromise to get one result and still have some sort of life. So I'm okay with it.
Absolutely. So your big thing this week was going out to, was it breakfast or lunch?
Yeah, breakfast.
Oh, breakfast,
it was nice. I feel like I did something else after that, and I can't remember what it was. But yeah, still super low-key, as usual. But you, sir, per Facebook, have been like a busy bee fixing boat seats and garden stuff. Tell us about that.
So here's what we did. I started this week finishing weeding the entirety of the garden, which we have a very large garden. So it got to the point where it was weeks and weeks of Stephanie just pulling by hand all these weeds. I said, you know what, screw it, move over. I took the hoe and just scraped it all up. I'm like, I'm done. And just scrape all the weeds up, and then we edge the garden all around and make it look pretty. And then went and got some mulch and then spread all the mulch around. There's weeds already starting to come up, but pick them up as they come. It's easier than having to hand pick everything. It's just a little monotonous. So
gotta be more attentive, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then the boat. It's actually my brother's boat, but I've had it, dear God, for a decade and a half almost. I've had his boat for a long time, so I'm just going to say, Jason, if you're listening, this is my boat now. It's mine. Just saying. he won't agree with that, but hey, guess what? But anyways, so last year, the middle back seat, so you have the back of the boat, you have 3 seat cushions that kind of slide underneath the back of the boat. The middle one had dry rotted and just kind of popped off.
Sure.
So this week, literally, I went to Lowe's, spent like $60 on some wood, some staples, like for a staple gun, and that sprayable adhesive for the styrofoam in there. And just like if you take a car apart, I don't know if you've ever taken a car engine apart, but as you take a car engine apart, you kind of memorize and you kind of figure out how you took it apart. That's how you want to put it back together again. And there's multiple different steps for the seat. And so I just cut out a new, instead of doing a 3-ply plywood, I did a 5-ply. So I made it thicker, it'll be stronger, and just put the seat back together, put it back in the boat, and then took the boat out on, what was that, a Sunday? I think it was Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday. My days are rolling together.
Yeah. I almost forgot today was Wednesday until you had texted me earlier. I was like, oh, hey. It is Wednesday.
I called a clinic and I was working this morning and they said, oh, and this is Monday. I'm like, Monday? They're like, no, it's our Monday. I said, oh, okay, my bad. Right. I'm just like, you confused me because I would have believed you if you had said it was actually Monday. But and so to finish off my week, we have a little tiny garden, so I put up 6 fence posts, like little metal 3-foot bars, and some chicken wire to keep the rabbits and my dogs from running through it. They won't jump over it. They're well trained. People are being haters on Facebook. They're trained people. They're not going to jump. And took Roundup around the entirety of the edge of the house, the fence line and everything to kill everything. And once it's dead, I have to go around and pull it all out. And I have so much still to do. But, it takes time. But you have stuff to do outside. So, yes, like you said, I have been very busy.
The joys of being a homeowner. See, I rent. So I have people that come out and mow and trim bushes.
See, but I like that stuff. It's good. It's a good workout. And they actually say gardening is a really good workout. And I like this, sweating, just being out in the sun and just getting all rid of the crap and just freshening up your pores, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I don't like the heat and I really don't like to sweat. So, no thanks. Hard pass.
Yeah, I'm glad you got that air conditioner set up finally. Remember you said it was like a 90 degrees in your place? Yeah,
well, and it's just a little, so I'm digressing here, but so the way my house is set up, windows don't open in my living room, and the one window I have one window that does, and my couch is in front of it, and it's an older house, so the windows don't open very far, and I don't have a screen outside, so I can't really open it because my cats would get out, but so I have this little portable air conditioner that I have set up through the doorway of the living room to the kitchen. Well, I mean, it's been keeping my house at 80 degrees the last few days when it's been mid to high 80s and 90s, which is nice. Yeah. I mean, 80s is still too warm for me. I'd prefer it to be like 65, but whatever. But the air conditioner in my bedroom is a big air conditioner, and it's a window one. And that puppy, I break out blankets, and I'm like, this is great. It feels awesome. I'm in blankets. I'm in a little igloo, and it's wonderful. My cats love it, and yeah, so the living room's tolerable. Oh my gosh, yeah. I walked into my bedroom today and my cat is she's just stretched out across my dresser and her arms hanging over the dresser and she's just it's so hot. So I turned on the air conditioner at that point, but yeah, so I will be retiring to the bedroom here shortly after our podcast is done, so I can go camp out in an igloo, which is great. So. Yeah. So
speaking of heat and speaking of summer, tell everybody what are we talking about this week?
We're going to talk about how to beat the heat with fun frozen treats.
Yes, and not just treats, but we're talking liquidy treats too, like all the treats, all the good
all
stuff
the
and things.
Yeah, all the treats, all the treats.
And didn't you looked up, like, you're very good at this. You looked up some type of statistics or trends online of specifically ice cream, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, when you think of, I mean, to me, the first thing that pops into my head of, like something nice and cold to eat is ice cream. And so I was like, well, I wonder what kind of fun facts there are about ice cream. So I did find a few, but what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Well, strawberry. But at the same time, and people might think it's weird, but I'm a big fan of taking vanilla ice cream and putting strawberry syrup on it. It's a different taste of strawberry.
Yeah, I don't like that taste of strawberry.
Oh, I love it. I think since I was a kid, I would do it. I'd just pour it on there and then mash my vanilla ice cream up until it's kind of like a softer type thing and just eat it like that. Oh, I love it. So good.
Yeah, no, I strawberry is my favorite as well. But I don't like the strawberry syrup because it tastes fake. And,
it does help when it's mixed with the vanilla ice cream, though.
Yeah, I could see that. I do. So I don't eat a lot of ice cream. Summer's probably the most time I ever eat it. But even at that, I'm not like a ginormous ice cream fan. But I do like strawberry. I've been on this big kick though of Ben and Jerry's milk and cookie flavored ice cream, which is like vanilla ice cream, and then it's got like a cookie swirl in it within like chunks of like chocolate chip cookie. It's just great because I sometimes crave chocolate. I'm not a huge chocolate fan, but when I do, I'm like, I want some chocolate, and it covers both bases really.
Yeah.
And then I really enjoy their Cherry Garcia one too. Yeah. So I do have a pint of both in the freezer for the rare occasion where I'm like, I want some ice cream. But yeah.
Doesn't Dave Matthews have one called like a whole new swirl or something like that? What is?
I don't
that?
know. I feel like they have so Ben and Jerry's has like they have the Cherry Garcia, they have some late night TV host person, I can't remember. But yeah, I feel like they kind of like highlight some people for their flavors of ice cream. But like I can't remember what.
Okay, so there is. I'm gonna go through this. So there's Cherry Garcia, which is based off of Yeah.
Grateful Dead.
Yep. There is Fish Food after the band Fish, right?
Oh, well, I didn't know that, but we'll go with it.
There is Satisfy.
Sorry. So they spell fish like, isn't it like
PH? Yeah. PHISH.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Satisfy My Bowl. In memory of reggae star and peace advocate Bob Marley.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I didn't see that flavor.
Yeah, the ice cream has a base of banana ice cream with caramel, however you say it, cookie swirls, and chocolatey peace signs.
Oh.
Yeah, so like the little chunks of chocolate in there are actually peace signs.
Oh.
Which is pretty cool.
That's friendly.
There's Bohemian Raspberry.
Ooh, that sounds delish.
Oh, yeah, I was right. One Sweet World, like whirl, like WHIRLED for Dave Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Matthews has two. It's actually Dave Matthews Band Magic Brownies.
I figured that might be more of like a Bob Marley type of thing.
Yeah, or Willie Nelson or
something, yeah.
That's right. Let's say there is If I Had a Million Flavors. What is it? Bare Naked Ladies, yep. If I had $1 million. Love that song.
It's a great, yeah.
By the way, and there is Goodbye Yellow Brickle Road. So it's for Elton John.
Yeah.
Yep. Then there's Imagine World Peace, John Lennon, right? Willie Nelson's Country Peach Cobbler.
I don't feel like some of these flavors are around anymore.
No, yeah, I don't know if they are around anymore, but
Like I feel like they do a highlight. So there's a TV show host like All American Dream or something. Forget what his name is. Corbin? Is there somebody? No.
Easton Corbin?
No.
No.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Do it.
Hold the phone.
So while you're looking it up, we have Bonnaroo Coffee Caramel Buzz. So that was for the collaboration with the Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival. There's Glastonbury. So Britain's biggest annual music festival called Glastonbury. Mm-hmm. And then there's just a few others here. There's Cinnamon Swirl after Neil Young's Cinnamon Girl. Tangled Up in Blueberry. Bob Dylan's Tangled Up in Blue, right? Mm-hmm. Brown Sugar Satisfaction, Rolling Stones, right? And then Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's what it's called, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Boring. But yeah.
Okay, so I did find there's the Tonight Dough with Jimmy Kimmel. Or not Jimmy Kimmel. Is it Kimmel? Is that his name? I always get them mixed up. Yeah. And then there's another one with...
The Tonight Show, you say? That's Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon, yes. The Tonight Dough. And then, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. The Jimmys. Whatever. And then there's the other one...
Oh, yeah, that looks good.
It's got caramel and chocolate cookie swirl, chocolate chip cookie dough, and peanut butter cookie dough. Oh, so good. Is Colbert? Is that Tony Colbert? It's not coming up, and it's frustrating me. I think it's like the
Americone Dream.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's Ben & Jerry's Americone Dream by Stephen Colbert.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah, that one's still around.
I'm trying to look to see exactly what it is. Let me click this here.
Ooh, they have a Netflix and chilled Ben & Jerry's ice cream.
Oh, that's dirty. You know what they're saying.
Peanut butter ice cream with sweet and salty pretzel swirls and fudge brownies. That's not bad.
No, it's...
Oh my gosh, we could go on for like hours on Ben & Jerry ice cream.
Okay, Americone Dream for Stephen Colbert is a fudge-covered waffle cones. This caramel-swirled concoction is the only flavor that gets a scream, an S''cream, get scream of approval. The late-night host, Stephen Colbert. Sweeter, So, that's nice.
Yeah, and so kind of going back to our ice cream thing, on the fun facts that I found out that it takes 12 pounds of milk to produce just 1 gallon of ice cream.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot of milk.
That's a lot of milk. And I'm wondering, so if you have 12 pounds of milk, and I mean, a gallon doesn't seem to be 12 pounds. Like, no. So like, where does it all go?
Hold on here. I'm gonna look this up.
Pounds and then if you ever want to know how many licks it takes to finish a scoop of ice cream, on average it takes 50. Thought that was a fun fact too.
Oh, I like that. So go back to the other one. How many pounds did you say?
It says it takes 12 pounds of milk to produce just 1 gallon of ice cream.
1 gallon of milk weighs 8.6 pounds, so it's a little bit less than 2 gallons.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't make... Okay.
Yeah, so that's not too bad.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
You say 12 pounds, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's like an elephant. It's so big. You know? Our concept
okay, that makes more sense now. Yeah. Okay.
That's good. Thank God for Google.
Yeah.
makes the podcast more legit.
Right? You're giving truth facts.
That's right. So, ice cream. We hit ice cream. We like ice cream. And so yesterday we went to Kings Island, took the kid to Kings Island, came back. I mean, we have the drink pass, so every 15 minutes you can get a free drink. And we went through so much water, Powerade for electrolytes, everything, and just went through it, got home. And I don't usually eat ice cream, to be honest, unless it's there. But I got some ice cream. I pulled it out and went to town. So it is definitely a hot day treat. So we also mentioned there are those slushies you can get. There's different type of like Kona Ice is one. Do you guys have Kona Ice up there? Yeah.
We do. It's like shaved ice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and shaved ice is like probably so. I'm very much an ice snob. I'm weird. I don't know how else to like explain it, but consistency of ice is very important to me.
Yeah.
Like I buy bags of ice instead of making them in my freezer because I don't like the taste of the tap water when it's frozen. I'm just weird. I'm one of those weird people that can taste the difference between bottled water too. But so I buy the bagged ice, which is great. I find Sonic ice is like my all-time favorite ice. Because
Which one?
The balls. Well, I mean, I like their slushes. Don't get me wrong. But like, if you were to order like a soda beverage, the ice that comes in there, because the slush ice is like completely different. That's sugar water. I'm not sure if you knew that. So it's like, here, have some sugar water with your soda that's already got lots of sugar in it.
Right.
But yeah, I like the kind of the slushy ball ice, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I do like their ice. I'm not a huge fan of snow cones because the ice is too thick. I don't like it. So I love shaved ice.
Yeah. It's too thick, plus they never put a good ratio unless you do like a cone of ice where they let you put the syrup on it. But if you let somebody else do it, they never put enough, and so you're drinking
You're just eating ice.
Yeah, you're just eating a bunch of ice after a while,
Yeah, it's just gross. Whereas I feel like the shaved ice tends to like hold the flavor more. I don't know. It could be a psychological thing. I don't know, but shaved ice is way. Yeah, I don't snow cones a lot. Shaved ice, yeah.
Do you ever have Sonic's frozen drinks that they have there?
Well, I've had the only thing I've ever had is their slushes. I haven't had like their ice cream.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Love their slushes. My favorite is the cherry lime slush. So good.
Grape nerd slushy.
See, I think we talked about this.
We mentioned this.
Podcast. Yeah, with our Canadian friend.
Right.
It's just so weird to me to like have nerds in my slush. Like, it's just weird. We grew up as a family. There's a 7-Eleven right by our house, and we went to 7-Eleven to get Slurpees like all the time. And my parents' house was the hangout house for my brothers growing up for all their friends.
Yeah.
And I got to the point that during the summer they would go like twice a day, probably. I would imagine. And they ended up like rinsing. So when they were done with their Slurpee, they would save the cups, and then at some point they had this brilliant idea that they were going to make something like ginormous out of all of these Slurpee cups that they've accumulated over the years and stuff. And it never happened, but there was a ton in that back room of just stacks and stacks of Slurpee cups from all the summers of
oh my goodness,
the boys
gracious.
drinking all that stuff. But yeah, no, love the Slurpees. I prefer Sonic slushes over the Slurpees, but if I had to rate them, it'd be 1-2. Ices, not a huge fan of Ices. I'm not sure if you've had those. I mean, they're kind of the same thing, but
say that again.
The Ices, they're one of those like
Sonic, you mean?
No, they're at like mini marts, or like I think Burger King might sell them. I know the Burger Kings here do, but they're very similar to that. But I feel like they run out of flavor really quick, and then you're just stuck with that like weird tasting ice at the end.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I mean, even the slushies that we had at Sonic, they still at the bottom, if you just suck too hard, this sounds so bad. If you suck too hard, you'll suck all the juice up, and then you'll be left with that, so you gotta like, keep stirring it up and mixing it up and all that. Yeah. It's a lot of work to eat those, I'm just saying.
It is. But they're so delicious, and I love them.
Absolutely. So let's talk beer, Ro. So,
well, I don't have a lot to contribute to that, seeing as I'm not a beer drinker, and I live in a place where there's tons of breweries everywhere, and we have very good breweries, from what I understand. So, so tell me about beer.
So there are a couple different ones that you typically like to go to. Me personally, on a nice hot day, whether let's say you're on a beach or wherever that's at, I like to go for a Corona. All right, Corona with lime. It just is the taste of summer, in my opinion. They have a summer shandy, which is good. You have Blue Moon Orange, which is a good summer taste. If you want to go for the Seagrams, they have different ones like the that's what we've been drinking recently, just because it's a little bit lighter, it doesn't fill you up, and it's nice on a hot day. Jamaica Me Happy, Strawberry Daiquiri. There's all those different ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like margaritas, like the mixed stuff. My 4th of July, my brother had bought. I call them adult Capri Suns, but they were like margarita mix with a little slush in them and like a little juice pouch, like a Capri Sun. I had one of those, I think, maybe 2, can't remember. But those were actually pretty good. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, beer is beer. I feel like if you get something that's too frothy, foamy, or a darker beer, or excuse me, even maybe an IPA at times, for me, doesn't really do it. It has to be light. It can't be something filling, because you're already out, you're sweating, you're in the sun. You got to have something that's more thirst quenching as you drink it, not just oh yeah, party let's get something beer. That's not the case. It's more of like something you want to sip when you're out there during the summer. You know what I mean? Like I am actually having a Jamaica Me Happy right now, and it is Jamaica Me Happy.
Is it Jamaican you happy?
It is. It is. Yeah.
Another thing we also, popsicles are always a good thing too. I remember we had ice cream trucks a little bit. We had a couple that drove around the neighborhood, but we would have. I remember the one. Is it like the firecracker popsicles? It was like red, white, and blue.
The Astro Pops.
Yeah, Astro Pops. Yeah. And I think there's a brand that makes it, and I think they're called like firecrackers or something. But anyway, I'd always get those because I really liked the flavor of those because it tasted like raspberry and cherry. And,
so on that note, before we get too far away from alcohol, because I think we're done with it, there's not much to say about it, but to add the firecracker / Astro Pop, downtown Cincinnati, obviously I've been there a long time, a place called 16-Bit Cafe. They have all types of video games, arcade games, Nintendo 64, you name it, they have it. It's awesome. It's an amazing bar. They make a specialty drink, like alcoholic drink, and they put an Astro Pop / firecracker on the inside of it. So you can drink your drink and then enjoy your Astro Pop / firecracker as you go.
That's awesome.
It is fantastic. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
wonderful.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, but on the lines of popsicles, it is my son Roran's favorite thing. Literally, he loves swimming. He loves pools. The only way to get him out without him freaking out that we have to leave the pool, saying, "How about if you leave, you get a popsicle?" He goes, "Popsicle, yeah!" And he freaks out. He loves it. So we have a fridge, not full, but we have a good box full of popsicles for him. And not like the push ones where you got to cut the top and go from there. We actually have the ones where you have a stick, you hold it, and you eat it, like the firecracker or the Astro.
Yeah. My brother, he'll eat 4 popsicles within 10 minutes. I mean, and my mom buys them by the bag. And he doesn't just sit there and lick them and it's like he bites into them. He can eat, and they're pretty good sized popsicles. They're kind of like they're like the orange raspberry swirly type ones. I don't know. But I mean, they're good size. They're just little dinky dee ones. And 5 bites and it's gone. And I'm just like, what? I'm still I'm not even a third of the way in. And he's on his 3rd one. And
it's just gone.
It's weird. I'm like, don't you get brain freeze? Don't your teeth hurt? I mean, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. I remember I was helping a friend of mine build a door in their chicken coop. So it was the chicken run area outside, covered, 8 foot tall or whatnot, with the chicken wire all out around the outside.
Right.
But we were done. We went inside and each had 5 popsicles, those slide up pops. Just two grown ass men sitting on the couch eating their popsicles. It was hilarious. It was good.
Yeah. We also like Otter Pops. I don't know if you...
Ooh, I'll Google it.
Otter Pops. Yeah, I mean, they're I don't know. I think there's different names for them.
Oh, yeah. Those are the slidey ones.
Yeah, the ones that are in like the little pouches and you
Yeah.
like push them up, and the ones that like cut the sides of your cheek
Oh
or
my
your lip,
gosh, yes.
trying to yeah.
Yes.
I as much as we loved those,
Yes,
they
Otter
were
Pops.
yeah, Otter Pops. Yes.
I love it. I love it. Yes,
And
Otter
I
Pops are
don't know
great.
why they call them Otter Pops, but that's what they are. That's what they'll forever be.
Yeah.
Also, so I didn't want to like digress too much back into like ice cream, but I remember going to the fair and they had these things called dots, and they're
Dots?
like little.
Oh yeah.
They're like little tiny ice cream, like they're little tiny ice cream balls, and I remember those at the fair. Like, if we were to talk about fair food, that's one thing that pops into my head is because they had these stands with like Dots ice cream, and they're just like little tiny balls of ice cream that you ate, and they were. I don't know. I liked the texture. I thought they were great.
Yes,
and it's fun.
It is a company called Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, Dippin' Dots.
Dippin' Dots, yes. You can get them at the Cincinnati Zoo. You can typically get them out in the store. Yes, those are underutilized in my opinion, but I think they're fantastic. Like you said, the texture and the feel of them in your mouth is amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
I agree. Wow, I can't believe This is the thing I totally forgot about until you brought up. I was like, oh yeah, Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, Dippin' Dots.
So
yeah.
good.
Yeah, well, because when I think of like summer, I always think of the fair because the fair here always comes in the summertime. So I'm trying to like think of things that I did that would that we would eat to kind of like cool off.
Yeah.
At places. So
don't do what I did, kids, and go to a fair and try a breaded alligator on a stick, and it tastes like mashed potatoes. It was disgusting.
Ew. I mean, I love mashed potatoes, but I wouldn't associate alligator with mashed potatoes.
Yeah, and I had some alligator or crocodile when I was in Australia, and it's good, but I don't think the fair goer shop thing, booth, necessarily made it out of the most high quality alligator meat. Just saying. So it was definitely a shock to believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and I feel like we need to touch on par, for summer treats that keep us cool, is, good old-fashioned, not that I'm a fan of it, but good old-fashioned iced tea and lemonade, sitting on your porch, cooling off with some iced tea and lemonade.
Oh, yes. Now, did you guys... I know when I grew up, my mom, she would make the iced tea, sweet tea, and she would put it out on the deck, on the back porch. And
was it like sun tea or something?
Yes.
Is that what they would call it?
Let it, like, kind of bask in the glory of the sunlight and all that, and it kind of ferments it or whatever it is. But, it's so good. So amazing.
Yeah, I was never... I'm not a tea fan, so I didn't... But my uncle, I remember my uncle, he would make it by the jug, literally. And then lemonade's good too.
Yes, you're very right.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, do you have any other types of treats and stuff that you can think of? I think that's pretty much covers all the gist of it.
Yeah. Anything icy and cold and refreshing. It's good. Whether it be alcohol or non-alcoholic.
Well, we did miss one thing.
Oh no, what did we miss?
Good old-fashioned water.
Ah, yes. That's true. I love water. Water's so good.
That's right, yeah.
I definitely enjoy it with a lot of ice in it.
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah, water's good.
Water is bueno. It is the lifeblood of the world, and things that we need for our bodies. Being what, 70% water?
I think so, something like that. It's a good chunk of water. Yeah,
it's a lot. We should know this. Yeah. I just embarrassed. You know what? I'm gonna pull.
I'm surprised we're not fish. I mean, with as much water as there is in us.
Yes. Let me go back
we would
here.
Yeah.
Oh, I was over. It's 60%.
Oh. Well, that's a good chunk,
up to 60% of the human adult body is water. Well, there you go.
There you go.
And that's weird to think that whenever someone gets cut, that we don't just spray water out. I'm just saying.
True.
That is true. Totally joking. People are like, "What an idiot." I'm all
Some
jokes.
people do, though.
That's right.
I mean, I remember when I had kidney stones. Anyway, long story short, my calves and my ankles and stuff were just so swollen because I was retaining water so much, and I remember my cat just like nicking me, and instead of like blood coming out, like water was kind of coming out because they were so like swollen with like water and everything, and so I thought that was weird. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, fun fact.
Yeah.
It can happen.
It can happen. This is true. This is very true.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about covers it. That's a good little start for treats and things like that. I'm so glad you threw in Dippin' Dots again. Just saying.
Yes.
Just
Dippin'
again.
Dots, yes, it was definitely needs to be promoted more.
Absolutely.
They're delicious.
Well, we're promoting it. That's right.
Yes.
We'll put
Dippin'
something
Dots.
on Facebook about Dippin' Dots, like favorite
Dippin' Dots.
favorite summer treat. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to call it an evening here with all you. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. If you like it, go ahead and jack that like button right in the nose. Don't forget to tell your friends and family all about the Knab and Ro Show. And as always, this podcast is a wrap.
Till next time, kids.